This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another ASS News exclusive. I am your anchorman, Assman bin Licken. Brock Jurgensen is out on assignment on Dan's mom. So please welcome us today. We have a very special guest who's going to be sitting down with us. We have child actor Fuck You Biden with us today. Hello, Fuck You Biden. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm Brandon. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Fuck You Biden. Fuck You Biden. With your sit down over with Vice President Kamala Harris, walk us through that. How was that experience for you?
It was exhilarating. I don't know how else to describe it. Sitting down with the first vice president who actually cares about the American people.
Well, fuck you, Biden. Fuck you, Biden. Excuse me. You're not acting now, so you don't have to read a script. You don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. You can just tell us exactly like what went on during that whole experience that you had. Fuck you, Biden.
Are you sure we're not recording?
No, this isn't acting. This isn't a script. You don't have to go like what your mom and dad told you how to do. Just tell us your true feelings, fuck you, Biden. Exactly how you went over it, how they came to you and told you what to say. Like, it doesn't matter. Just, you're free, fuck you, Biden. You can say what you want.
She touched me.
So you are accusing, excuse me, just fuck you, Biden. You're accusing Kamala Harris, Vice President, of touching you. Are you sure you weren't reached out by John Weaver?
Wait, maybe?
Over
it's
at the Lincoln.
Difficult to tell.
Is it really? So, fuck you, Biden. You can't really tell between a 58-year-old male and a 40-something-year-old black female.
Wow, I really am that racist.
Jesus Christ, fuck you, Biden. No, seriously, let us know. When they came and asked you to do this sit down with Kamala Harris, did they give you some sort of script? Did they go over what they wanted you to say? I mean, seriously, fuck you, Biden. Tell us what happened.
It's difficult for me to say because Madam Vice President and our dear leader, Kamala Harris, said, if I say anything against her, my parents will go to jail.
Really? Oh, for you skipping school? They're going to throw them? Wow, fuck you, Biden.
And then me too, as well.
And you in jail as well. Well, wow. And tell us, who else was there? Fuck you, Biden. Were any of the kids there like real? Like was Brian? Was he real? I mean, let us know. Fuck you, Biden. Like was Jasmine real? I mean,
I know who was real.
Who was real? Fuck you, Biden.
Candace.
Fuck you, Biden. Who's Candace?
Am I in focus yet?
Were you out of focus the whole time?
I think I was out of focus the entire time.
Jesus. Holy shit.
Wow. This is what happens when you really rush a cold open. But thank you. Thank you for having me. Ask me. I've been like in this. You're very let's have no. You're very welcome. Fuck you, Biden. Thank you for having me. Ask me. I've been like in. And Habibis, welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour.
I just love the idea of exploring the unknown. And then there's other things that we just haven't figured out or discovered yet. To think about so much that's out there.
원수들이 이 땅에 덤벼든다면 조국의 평온을 지켜 한번 그
help kick this thing off. All right, guys, ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Drivers, start your engines. Let's go, Brandon.
Allah Akbar!
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. And I'm also joined by the King Ern and the Queen, Gracie.
Oh, Gracie's there too now.
Yeah, they're both here. Look at them.
Did she drive down herself?
She flew. Yeah, she's been down here for like the last week or so. Yeah,
very nice. So your house is getting nice and filled up.
Yeah, it's today was crazy, man. There was a lot of things I was doing with respect to the house. So
you had a lot of vendors over.
Vendors, yeah, who are servicing my butthole.
Oh, that was my job. I was supposed to come down there, service your butthole, go down to DC, get your car, service your butthole, and then drive it down with you back to Florida and service your butthole.
Right, but it needs attention in between. Jay, I haven't seen you in like 3 months.
This is like a top 10 anime betrayal right now. Like you guys are seeing it live happening right in front of everyone. Absolutely.
Oh, Los Bibi says Lincoln Project loved that Kamala adds child ratio. That was the most bizarre.
It was.
Let's just play that. Let's play that shit. I think Spencer has. Yes, Spencer, go ahead and play that shit.
I just love the idea of exploring the unknown. And then there's other things that we just haven't figured out or discovered yet. To think about so much that's out there that we still have to learn. Like, I love that. I love that. And so I'm very excited about the Space Council. We're going to learn so much as we increasingly, I think, are curious and interested in the potential for the discoveries and the work we can do.
You never know. We'll discover it. Maybe Siraj does have sex with his wife. We don't know, but we'll discover it. I don't think it's happening. But you'll see. You see it
with your own eyes. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, they're as big as Siraj's butthole.
Unbelievable.
Can I just say for the record, Kamala is doing the most acting in that shit. She never is like that.
It's absolutely like the whole thing from start to finish is just fake. Absolutely fake. And I mean, it's who she is, really, is just a fake fucking
person.
She's fake. Yeah. She's fake as fuck.
She is the fake.
She is. And this just showcases, like, it's just amplifying her fakeness to a certain degree.
Papa says even Gracie doesn't want to see this shit.
Like right out.
I'm looking at a comment on Rumble from Ricky Spanish too. It says, "Do all editor picks suck?" I mean, yeah, maybe. But
I think they do pretty well, honestly.
I think they do pretty well. Yes. So as always, Habibis, if you want to follow us on Twitter, if you love or especially hate us, particularly hate us, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at Habibi_Bros. We're broadcasting simulcast live from Rumble, but we're also on YouTube. But Rumble is our home because we're family, right, Jay?
Absolutely, always.
So, and you can find me on Twitter at Siraj Hashmi, and Jay, you can find him at Asslickin. No joke. Asslickin. It's there in the bottom of the screen.
It's Asslickin.
Yeah. So if this is your first time watching the show, welcome.
Grab a drink.
Also,
this is a power. This is a power.
I forgot to grab a drink. I was so rushed getting back here, Jay. I literally came right back from dinner.
I already had most of my drink already, but I'm going to be finishing the rest of this tonight. So,
Here,
Joe
Spencer,
BB, thank you very much for this
Spencer,
bottle.
Go ahead and just focus on Jay. I'm gonna go get a drink and go ahead and answer some questions.
Keep Ern on screen. Keep Ern on screen.
Keep Ernie on screen.
Go get your drink.
Okay. But he might
go get your drink.
Okay.
No, he might. Let's see what's gonna happen.
It's okay.
Let's see his. Oh, not bad. He's a good boy. He's a very, very good boy. Look at that. What's going on, Blake? No, Blake, I didn't get Taco Bell yet. The reason why is because I'm not like fully drunk yet. When I get tipsy, I get like whiskey munchies, and they go bad, really, really bad. I'll go and get about 15 tacos after this probably. Well, I swear, maybe if we did a Pornhub, I mean, like an OnlyFans just for Ernie, we would be millionaires by now. That's like true. Absolutely. Do you remember why there was sherry in it? Yes, there was sherry in it to help mask the taste of dick. So now it tastes like ass. So they put some sherry in it for it to taste like ass more than to taste like dick. So now it's like dick ass. And it's really good.
Zoom in on Ernie right here, Spencer. Just look at him. Oh.
Oh, look at him.
What a buddy. Good boy. All right, well,
Anthony, you should drink half. You should drink half the bottle that you got. Anthony went and got a bottle.
Very nice.
And this is going to be his first time drinking in a while. So for the first watchers who are tuning in right now, for Habibi Power Hour, every time I say essentially, you have to say 100%. Take a drink.
Yeah.
If when either one of us says 100% or essentially, you have to take a shot. Now, Faye wants to do it whenever you hear our fillers come in, like or any of that kind of stuff. But that'll just kill you because. Honestly, that's our intent when you come and watch this is for you to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially.
100%. You bitch.
All right. So what did we miss today, Jay? What's new on our radar? First of all, we got a quick announcement. First of all, we got a little housekeeping. Mm-hmm. If you are subscribing to us on Patreon, we have reduced our rates, but also reduced the number of tiers.
Yes.
If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/Habibi Bros. We now have 3 tiers, all of which he's about to leave. What is
it? You have 3 tiers, all of which will give you access to our platinum Patreon episodes and also give you access to our Discord. Give you a special role on Discord and access to the Habibi Power Hour chat on Discord. And of course, more tiers get more access. So the $20 tier is going to be considered the platinum Habibis. And this Thursday at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, we're going to do our first Habibi watch party. And of course, we got to watch The 4 Lions. It's an epic true story about our uncles who moved and who are now living in the UK. So it brings great pride to me and Siraj, that movie.
Alhamdulillah. Let's see here. All right, so that is the bit of housekeeping. Thank you, Jay, for picking that up as I had to worry about this little guy.
Worry about our sheikh and king.
Our king. So, the very first thing, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I feel like everything's sort of coming to a head for President Biden. Over this past week, you have 2 major moves happening. One from Texas, in which they're really pushing back on vaccine mandates by basically Governor Greg Abbott banning vaccine mandates in the state of Texas. And then you have Southwest Airlines having fucking massive cancellations of flights because a bunch of employees decided to just walk out.
They said allegedly. It was weather related. I mean, no other airlines had to ground their flights or anything. But you never know. I mean, maybe they use different kind of planes.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, you don't want to mix the Habibi Bros with planes. Talking about planes, we're bound to crash and burn.
Oh, absolutely. Or get on a list somewhere.
Or get on some list. But Jay, I mean, we have last night we taped a really good interview with Dr. Jason Nichols, and that'll be coming out this weekend. And we're not going to like go into every single topic that we discussed with him, but one of the things that you and I never really got into because we had to obviously, want to get his thoughts was how badly is Biden fucking up? And I don't think people really, if this were a Republican president, if this were Trump, if it were Bush, I feel like every day the corporate media would be talking about how bad his presidency is going. And I guess the media is just gaslighting us into believing that, oh, everything's fine. Yeah. This really fucks me up because, ever since they said, oh, the adults are back in the room, America is back. Like we've gone right in the fucking shitter, Jay. It is driven me fucking insane.
It's amazing because it's a great comeback, especially if you guys are on Twitter or anything like that. Whenever something really bad goes on, or they bring in a celebrity or some shit like that, or a little kid on or whatever, it's always a good comeback to be like, oh, thank God the adults are back in charge. While inflation goes up 6% every fucking month, and the ports have no way of having your product getting out of the ports. The grocery stores are almost empty. So yeah. I am so glad the adults are back in charge.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, I wanted to say because Kim Klacik, the former Republican nominee for Congress in like the 8th or 9th congressional district of Maryland, running in the city of Baltimore. I put her on the list because she put Bill back. She posted a photo of an empty grocery store shelf. And then said like this is Biden's America. Well, it was something like this is like the Build Back Better plan. And it was a photo of a grocery store in fucking England. You could see the price tags were all in pounds sterling. And then she had the fucking balls to try to be like, oh, Siraj, like you're such a hero. Where would I be? Where would I be with all this brave journalism?
Where would we be?
Where would we be? And like. For one, she can't take the L at all. I've met her in person. I did a Fox News hit with her. Well, I don't know if I did it with her specifically, but I did it like way before she ran for Congress. And I honestly had no idea who she was. But then again, I was also a nobody. Still am, but not a grifter.
But
also. It's amazing to me, though, that like, she could have easily had a clean dunk if she simply just posted a photo of an American grocery store and their empty shelves. But no, she had to fucking fumble it at the goal line and post a fucking photo of England. And I just like sure. All of a sudden I become a lib for dunking on her. But like, if you're gonna like make that type of criticism, you gotta be essentially 100%. You have to essentially 100% nail it. Come on, let me get my drink. Ugh.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like it's not happening, and it's not like you can't find examples here in the United States. I mean, it's not as bad as those full empty shelves that you saw there, but it's getting there. It really is. I mean, I go to Target. Because fuck Walmart, but I go to Target like almost like once every week, once every other week, and there's still items that are not on the shelves. It's completely empty, and I feel like it's just going to get worse and worse. If you see the videos that are coming out of the ports, it's absolutely horrifying, and it's not just the port issue; it's also the trucking issue as well.
Right.
I mean, we have completely demonized and fucked truck drivers over that it's not worth it for them anymore as well. I mean, so I was saying last night with Dr. Jason is that I work in manufacturing, so we ship a lot of things out from here in California. Now, to ship something, a full container from California to a place like Michigan is anywhere between $7,000 to $8,000. To put that in perspective, the same time a year ago, it was $4,500. These things more than doubled, and that is why you're seeing price hikes as well. So you're seeing price hikes on transportation being as expensive it is. You're seeing it happen because of inflation, and you're seeing it happen because of shortages. And nothing that Biden has wanted to implement is fixing it. Or
I said 100%, but I didn't mean to say it right off the bat. It's considering a half, essentially 100%. Carlos Lowe says incompetence plus condescension about supply chain issues will wipe out Dems in midterms and presidential election. Bet on it, or he just says bet.
He says
but
bet,
Jay, but like here's the thing, and this is the thing that really gasses me up, because it's not like any of us want things to be bad here in America. It's not like we want things to be bad for political purposes to like get Dems out of power. It just so happens that Dems are so bad at governing that like they can't govern themselves out of a wet paper bag. It is that bad in Washington. I mean, I didn't leave because like things were bad in DC. I left obviously for a different reason, but I am, having been removed from DC for several months, I'm really like, I don't regret the move at all, because DC really is that big of a cesspool where to everyone outside the Beltway, it's an immense problem, but everyone within it, they don't really give a shit. They don't care what happens to the rest of the country. And I'm not like putting that on everybody within DC, but specifically the lawmakers and the unelected bureaucrats who make a shit ton of money off of this shit. Like and the chaos. And in fact, fucking Fauci. Oh my God. Bro, everything like you're seeing right now, like the Habibis know straight up, like our journey since we started this whole show is just week after week, everyone getting radicalized by just how fucking crazy things are.
Inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman. This radicalize some people. And it's good that it's happening. It's happening. It really is, because I think more people should have their eyes open on what is happening within the government, like these lawmakers, and how, and how journalism in of itself is just one big propaganda industry. That's what they really are now. And to your point earlier, where you're talking about, like, imagine if it was Trump, or imagine this, we really don't have to imagine it, because we lived through it for 4 years. The man couldn't fucking fart somewhere without it being like, this is detriment to our fucking democracy. Right. Like we're in a constitutional crisis. Constitutional crisis. Constitutional crisis, like every fucking three days. That's exactly what they were doing. And you have people like the Tom Nichols, which, I rightly call him.
No, you can't say the Tom Nichols. It is
bitch tits. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I rightly call him bitch tits, because that's what he is. He's a fucking bitch tit. And he wants to come in and talk about norms and how now we're saving it by voting all Democrats in, when what Biden is doing in making laws through his executive actions and all of this kind of stuff is that if that was Trump, this same principled expert would be shitting his pants and whining about it, not giving excuses for why Biden should do it. And I feel like it's just a fucking, it's a fucking play. They just want more money. They just go and they take money. There's no principles or truth behind it.
Anthony Rivera says, our journey, LOL, so cringe. Well, if you want to be a part of our cringe-worthy journey, because that is obviously why you're here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and tell your friends about us, because why don't you just get radicalized with us? Let's go, Brandon, right?
Let's do it. Fuck you, Biden. And
Also, by the way, Jay, it wasn't fuck you, Biden. It was fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah, it was fuck Joe Biden. That's right. But I'm still gonna say fuck you, Biden, because I like saying fuck you, Biden.
Oh, this is great right here. Eddie says, calling a disabled person bitch tits is kind of mean. That's a deep cut right there.
It is. Jesus. Very good.
All right, so it's a little bit unconventional tonight, simply because I'm drinking bourbon again for the second straight week. But hold on, what are you doing? Get back on me. What do you want to do? You want to go? I don't know what he's doing, Jay. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I need to get a dog myself.
I'm not your dog. We don't do doggy style together.
We'll see when I get down there.
I mean, okay. So, one thing I have to point out here is that we have a number of different things that have happened under Biden. That, for one, the jobs report that came in last week fell somewhere close to 400,000 jobs short.
Yeah.
Or was it 300,000? Something
it was,
like that.
It was something. I think it was between 300 and 400,000, like a legit between the two.
Yeah. And then you have inflation skyrocketing, food prices skyrocketing, gas prices skyrocketing, fucking everything is skyrocketing. And the only thing it's tanking right now is Joe Biden's approval numbers.
Well, I mean, CNN just came out with one that showed him, at 50%, but they switched out their polling procedures in order for these things to come out the way that they are.
What did they do?
Yeah. I think it was about 2 weeks ago that they changed the way that they do their sampling sizes.
Oh my fucking God. Are you serious?
Yeah. It's absolutely fucking it's just crazy, because if you look at all of the other national polling agencies that have been going on since July until now, he's at least at a -5.
Yeah.
That's the average.
Yeah.
Spencer, but they show him at 50.
Spencer, our producer, as always, sacks. Only 235,000 positions were added versus the expectation of 720,000, according to CNBC. This is why we get Spencer to help us out, because he's quick with the facts.
Right, and then we fire him.
Yeah, and then we fire him for doing a good job. So fuck you, Spencer. Jay, so there are just so many fucking issues going on, and you have the White House lying to us, telling us that, oh, you know what? Actually, things are going okay. Things aren't actually that bad.
Right. There was another report that had 4.6 million people quitting their jobs last month or something.
Yeah, 4.3 million. I think that's what Spencer told us in the month of August. It's insane. It is fucking insane. And the fact that time and again. Oh, and also Reuters apparently is reporting that the White House asked oil and gas companies to lower lower fuel costs.
To try and lower fuel. It's really funny, because in the beginning he's like doing his hard ass, like, you cannot frack. There's no pipeline. There's none. Yeah. We have to save the world. All this kind. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Can you please bring down the prices? It's just so pathetic. It's so pathetic the way that he's running this country, and we're seeing all of these really left and center left, like, policies that they've always wanted starting to come into fruition. No more fracking, no pipelines, no this, no that. And we're seeing, like, the real detriment effects that it's having on society, because they haven't brought any alternative to the table that will help with the demand for petroleum, the demand for electricity, the demand for all of these things that we need. They haven't brought any alternatives to it, because, I mean, the Green New Deal can be shoved so far up AOC's non-existent ass, to the point that singularity happens and we have another fucking universe flow.
Bro,
because that's not an alternative. That's
the fucking Biden administration makes this argument that as soon as they're like, oh, we're going to shut down all these pipelines, the construction of pipelines, we're going to shut down fracking, and they expect, like, the price of gas and of oil and fuel to remain the same. And then now they're like, oh, pretty please don't do that. Please don't. No. Why'd you do that? No, please don't. Please don't.
Oh, no. Is it going up? I'm sorry.
Please
don't.
No.
I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
Do we make the price go up? I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Did we do that? I'm sorry.
So Jay, like these are literal children running our country, and it's the crazy aspect. It's literally that whole Douglas Adams quote about lizards running the country, or you remember from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, one of my favorite
books.
One of my favorite excerpts is that that everybody knows that two lizards are vying for power, but everybody continues to vote for them anyway, because if they don't, the other lizard will win. So we really are stuck in like a fucking the seventh circle of hell here. We're out of it.
I don't think we are, especially if we still have the two-party system as it is now. I don't think it's really going to we're going to see anything happen better. I mean, Trump becoming president was something that honestly did throw a wrench in the system because of him himself. But your thought on it and your opinion on it and analysis on it, I think it was very on point. That people like Bush and people like Obama, like, ingrained their influence in these places because of who they picked in the cabinets and stuff. So it really stopped him from doing anything else that he wanted to do.
Oh my God, this comment from Lowe says Siraj has rubbed his nipples on a live recording camera more times than Joe Biden has answered questions from the media. It's essentially 100% true.
Essentially.
Man. So I feel like we're really getting off to a great start here tonight.
Absolutely.
We're a half hour in and we haven't talked about jack shit.
So, I mean, we did. We talked about doggy style. We got to apologize while you rubbed your nipples.
Yeah.
No,
Jay, I'm not apologizing for that. I'm not apologizing for it.
No, not apologizing for rubbing your nipples. You're apologizing while rubbing your nipples. There's a difference.
Yes. Thank you.
There's a huge difference.
Thank you for that.
You're very, very welcome. I'm 2 inches hard now.
I'm one. Half hard. Or about 3/4 of the way hard. No, 2/3, because 1.5. We haven't talked about anything yet, and we are still more predictive than Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Spencer.
Thank you, Spencer.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot. Our agenda is definitely more clear. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter because, and again, to quote Dave Chappelle, Twitter, Twitter's not a real place, but I don't know why he somehow gets credit for it. We've been saying this for quite some time.
Forever.
Yeah, forever. Twitter's not a real place, but people on Twitter are saying that, the only reason why Biden's approval numbers are low is because he hasn't passed the Build Back Better plan. Like, no, he's a weak-ass president, and people don't want to acknowledge him as a weak-ass president.
Right.
And I also find it interesting that there are some people, some like political analysts or pundits who say, actually,
or analysts.
They are anal assists. They provide their anal
lists.
They're analysts, and they say that Biden actually is a very strong president because he's used executive orders like every week or some shit like that. Like Trump didn't do that, like Biden, like Obama didn't do that. It's just, I mean, like,
well, they're doing everything they can to spin it now.
Man,
every time Zachy comes on, it's a different type of comeback that she can come back with to try and spin the situation that's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was, we're only going to see this inflation for a little bit and then it's going to go back down. That's not happening. I mean, how are you surviving on 5% inflation every month? It's ridiculous. It's people are going to be losing their livelihoods.
I just don't understand who is like in there, like seriously saying, I don't know any. Even the doc who we had on last night, you'll see. Even he can acknowledge that like Biden isn't a strong president. Like, and he's a liberal. I mean, if anything, he's probably more progressive than anything. So, like, I think he's a lot more honest than a lot of people are willing to admit. But
anyways, he is, and it was a great interview with him because he was very willing to be honest about it. And we're not seeing that from from the media whatsoever. Like when something really big happens, what happens on CNN? Brian Stelter's off on Fox News for some fucking reason. Like it comes out that, you know what? Actually, the emails and the laptop from Hunter Biden was credible. It was very credible. And you don't see any segment Brian Stelter having on about how the media kept that silent. And not only the media keeping it silent, but big tech keeping it silent. And people like Jake Tapper siding with censoring the story.
They do this. They do this deliberately. It's deliberate. Everything. This is what I learned over the course of the last few years. Anytime you see a story coming out, you have to almost read between the lines immediately. You can never take that shit at face value. Sure, there's some stories that like when they're reported, sometimes you could be like, yeah, there's no like that. It's almost very difficult to read between the lines. And you just have to kind of just wait and see. But so many political stories, you almost have to wonder what the ulterior motive is. And that's what we're seeing where, you know, like I think more and more people are becoming more not receptive, I'd say more cognizant of this. You see people at least acknowledge the whole New York Post story was actually true with the Hunter Biden laptop story, and the fact that the big tech and the corporate media worked in tandem to suppress that story and block the New York Post Twitter account from tweeting until they removed that tweet. You almost immediately know that the fix is in. And, you know, I always think about that George Carlin bit that he did about how we don't have, we have owners. I won't say we have elected leaders or politicians. We have owners, people who just control us. And this is like them flexing that. We really don't have a say in anything. This whole idea that democracy our democracy is being threatened. It's a fucking sham. We don't live in a fucking democracy anymore, Jay. We don't. It's amazing that people still think that we live in a fucking democracy. Even if you want to say, oh, actually, Siraj, it's a constitutional republic. It's still not that. We're not represented by the people that we elect. We're represented by the fucking big tech, the big business, every single major entity that is looking to control everything we think, say, or do. And there's no way out of it. That being said, even with all of that, America is still the freest country in the world. And that's really saying something, considering how free we are compared to the rest of them.
Right. I mean, because like right now we can say, you know, fuck you, Joe Biden, right now here live on air, and we're not going to be taken off. If we're taken off, then that's a different story. Yeah. But we wouldn't be. And it's true. And we see more and more of these cases on how they are wanting more control. I mean, Yahoo News, I think just a little bit ago, came out with a story about how they want to tie in your credit score on your browsing history.
Oh my fucking God. Are you serious?
Yeah. Can you imagine that? That's what they're speculating. And that's where they're seeing the technology going and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, that's not going to like, how much more are they going to control you that way? And it's not the government that's going to control you over these type of things. It's more of the, it's going to be more from corporations that control that kind of stuff. Especially
and they're tying it to your browser. They're tying
your browsing to your credit score.
Oh, they're definitely gonna erase all the hentai shit.
You're gonna have to. You really are. I already scrubbed all of that stuff from my iPhone because of them wanting to do that on the iPhone. Scan your phone. I deleted all my memes.
I mean, you know that like just by. I mean, they've already set the precedent here, Jay. When they banned Trump from Twitter, they also banned him from all these other different platforms, including, I think, PayPal and Stripe. At that point, you have to ask, that is them setting the precedent for the precedent for the future. Even if you don't agree with anything that Trump said or did when he was president, just simply expressing wrongthink, something that's controversial, or even saying something like, I thought Dave Chappelle's stand-up was funny, that is enough to really tip over the edge right here. And basically, it's no longer about being canceled anymore. They're now going to ramp that shit up in ways that make it really hurt for you. And I really hope this story from Yahoo News isn't true, because if they tie credit scores to web history, we're all fucked.
Oh, for sure. Nobody's going to be safe. And you see these social consequences for having wrong thing happen. I mean, as we were saying on the show the other day, the CEO of a gaming company had to step down for saying that he doesn't believe in abortion.
Or he thinks that, something along those lines, that he believes life begins at conception or something like that, and
yes,
abortion is wrong, or that he was sympathetic or supportive of the Texas abortion law, abortion ban. So,
and then they forced him to step down. It's just insane. It really is. And it's becoming more and more in a way that is how they're going to control your thought, your ability to openly express yourself and express your opinions on issues and everything, and control you even more, because they're going to scare the shit out of you with all of that.
Yeah,
they really are.
And Eddie brings this up. Apparently IRS is tracking bank accounts over $600.
Yes,
that is
not yet. That's a proposal that they want to put through.
But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi doubled down on the inclusion in the spending bill of a Democratic provision that required banks to report to the IRS transactions for accounts holding over $600. Bro, that's almost everyone.
That is almost that's
like deliberately become poor or open 69 bank accounts that stay under $600 to stay off the IRS's radar.
Habibi. No, this is for the trillionaire and billionaires. Okay, everyone knows that trillionaires and billionaires have bank accounts that have $600 in them. Everyone knows that. This is fucking and it's what's more insane is some people thought it was any transactions that are over $600, but I think it's any bank account holding $600. Any bank account that is making transactions that has $600 in it will be spied on by the IRS. What is this going to accomplish? How is this going to pay for anything? How is this going to do anything for the government?
Hey, it's not tax going to do it.
Right? Tax to rich. Yeah, this is exactly going on. And this is my point on anyone thinking that this bill, this $3.5 trillion spending bill, is actually for the greater good or for good for people or anything like that, are fucking dumb as shit. They're very naive, because there's one goal for government, and that is to control you, that is to gain power, and that's never to give it back. They will never, ever give it back unless there's another revolution here in the United States. There will the power that they already have will never be given back. Bro, they're not going to do anything to give it back.
Yeah, and this is what bothers me, man. I still can't believe how some people, particularly Americans, are just so willingly submissive to the government. You know, that whole, you've probably seen that meme, from like it's like basically it compares like what happened 30 years ago when Rage Against the Machine released Killing It in the Name of, and they have that lyric that says, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And then you have like a Trigger Live in 2021 saying, fuck you, do what they tell you. That is the trajectory that a lot of like mainstream leftists and liberals have gone down. And I'd argue probably some people who are center right as well.
Well,
because I have seen some people and again, this is not like a generalization, because I've seen people on all across the spectrum who are very anti-government. And some are very liberal, some are very conservative, but ultimately, if you very much agree with the establishment, if you have a politician that you simp for, there's a pretty good chance you probably also simp for the policies that they propose. Not going to I'm not judging you for that. Everybody likes somebody. Us, it's Kirsten Cinema. But anyways, what's up? Anyways,
Mommy Milky.
Mommy Milky.
And
but no, I just wanted to say, Jay, like, people are just so willingly submissive, and that's where the government comes in, and they get that power and they never give it back.
They don't. And it's willingly submissive depending on who's in power. who's like you're saying, who's the politician you want to simp for or you want to go for. But typically I think in my opinion, there's a thought within the leftist community that, and I'm saying left, I'm not saying center left, but I'm saying like really, really far left, that it is really the government left, okay. that the government is what it is supposed to educate you. The government is supposed to feed you. The government is supposed to house you. The government's supposed to provide for you. The government's supposed to do all of these things for you. So you have to submit to the government to get all of these things.
Jay, if we could finally get on board and saying, if the government services my butthole, I'll get on board.
Honestly, I don't think there's enough tax-paying money out there. Even if we tax all the rich people, at 100%, there's not a way for us to clean all that dirt.
It's true too. It's up 369. That says it's not like the IRS has ever abused their power in recent history. Essentially 100% true. So Jay, we're chugging along here. And let's take a moment real quick, because there has been a story reported out of Loudoun County School District in Virginia, and the Daily Wire got the exclusive on this crazy story. Basically, 2 days ago, a father was arrested during a June school board. Well, hold on. Actually, it wasn't 2 days ago, but a father came forward 2 days ago accusing the Loudoun County School District of trying to cover up an alleged bathroom sexual assault against his daughter by a skirt-wearing male student, and he was arrested during a June school board meeting. Loudoun County School District responded in a statement saying, Loudoun County Public Schools is aware of the media and social media reports concerning alleged sexual assaults at 2 of our high school campuses. So they acknowledge it.
At 2, and it's at 2 different ones.
Not just 1, 2. While LCPS takes student privacy seriously and cannot reveal details concerning the actions of any specific student, we do want to clarify our investigative process.
Unless it was a white male.
I don't know, but we have no idea what the perpetrator, suspect, who that person was. Principals are legally required to report to the local law enforcement agency any act, including sexual assault, that may constitute a felony offense. And they said that this process was followed with respect to these allegations. So where does the cover-up come in? Well, Scott Smith, who was the father who was arrested for disorderly conduct during a June 22nd school board meeting, alleged that the school district tried to cover up a sexual assault by a gender-fluid individual against his 9th grade daughter in order to further its transgender rights agenda. Smith told the Daily Wire on Monday that weeks before his arrest, his daughter at Stonebridge High School in Ashburn was sexually assaulted by a boy wearing a skirt who entered the girls' bathroom on May 28th. And the sheriff's office told Fox News that, quote, we can confirm on May 28, 2021, case that involved a thorough 2-month-long investigation that was conducted to determine the facts of the case prior to arrest. The case is still pending court proceedings. The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office is not able to provide any documents that pertain to a pending case. So it's almost like there's a cover-up to the cover-up. But, Jay, we're basically left to the media's reporting to help us navigate this. And honestly, it's all sorts of fucked up. What have you heard so far?
Honestly, just from the Daily Wire, because there's not a lot of media attention coming to this. And you have to think about why. Because if it was a cis white male, for instance, we would be hearing a lot about it. And I think it would be covered in a lot more media outlets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong if we do a search and to see if there's any other ones that had reported on it. I mean, and there was not one that actually did a segment on it online. On their shows or anything like that either. So it's very, very concerning. And it was if it was a straight white man sexually assaulting a white female or any female really at school, if it was specifically a white cis man, we know that shit would get national coverage. Oh,
because toxic masculinity and fuck the patriarchy.
Right. It would.
Right?
Yeah. You would see it over and over and over again. And it would be a news story that would come on every hour on the hour. I mean, for fuck's sake, we saw the Covingtons just smirk. It was a white teenager smirking, and it was a news story for like a week. But over this, they couldn't even report a peep on it whatsoever. Yeah, and it's scary, and it's a scary thought, and I can see why they're not going to want to report on it, because it goes really against the narrative on it, and it kind of empowers the concern that this is what was going to happen if we allowed people with dicks to go into women's bathrooms.
The protester, the Kirsten Cinema protester who was eating Taco Bell on their lunch break last week.
Yes, but she's a powerful and strong Latinx. Sorry. Latinx. She was a very strong.
Lo says, FYI, I live in Loudoun County, so you can go to these school board meetings. Go
do it.
He's now a domestic terrorism. Faye says, my husband is not a violent man, but when he heard that he clenched his jaw and said, if this was our daughter, I hope he would bring me baked goods in jail. You know, most fathers would react that way. I probably would too.
I would definitely do some harm. I mean, it's very hard for you not to feel that way. It's overly protective that you feel for these kids and for your own daughter and your own son. And a lot of people dismiss it.
This is something. I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh no, I was just going to say that this is the reason why you hear these parents have these concerns, but they're labeled as bigots and as crazy people or domestic fucking terrorists.
Yeah, so like here's the thing. When it comes to all this shit, you know, everyone's like, "Oh, you got to protect the kids. You got to protect the kids from COVID. You got to protect the kids from, you know, learning racist history." Yeah, what about protecting kids' actual physical and mental well-being? You know, every time there's like a sexual assault or rape that happens and on a campus, like that shit never makes it to the front pages. And I wonder why. Is it because, oh, you know, a school can overcome a school shooting, or they can overcome like an act of violence that doesn't involve like a sexual act? But as soon as it starts to involve a sexual act and it happens against a vulnerable individual, say like a 9th grade female student by a supposedly transgender or boy wearing student, boy wearing a skirt in a bathroom, where the fuck is the outrage from the national media? Like they care more about the selective outrage. It's so hard to not get demoralized by this, because yes, you know, not every school is safe, and we've seen tons of schools have plenty of issues, whether they're in urban areas, suburban areas, or rural areas. Mm-hmm. But like everybody wants to send their kid to school knowing that they're safe, and even if they're not sending their kid to school and they're homeschooling them, which is kind of now the preferred route for a lot of, actually it's a growing preferred route for a lot of parents. And honestly, I respect the hell out of them for doing it, because that shit ain't easy. Like at the very least, like if we send our kids to school or future kids to school, the very least you want to make sure is that they don't get harmed. Like how the fuck is it possible that we're in 2021 and this shit just keeps happening and no one is doing anything to stop it?
And you're not allowed to talk against it. You're not. You're labeled a domestic terrorist when you try to have an open discussion about these things. It's harmful. It's disgusting. And more parents are waking up to it. That's why you were saying, you're seeing a lot more people suddenly get away from public school places, what more school choice, or go into homeschooling. Because one thing is very certain. Yeah. Very, very certain, 100% true, essentially, is that
100%.
Places and organizations like teachers' unions barely give a fuck about kids, and they give a shit about your kids. They care more about their bottom line and about the employees there. Your children are not covered by teachers' unions. teachers unions don't care about. That's not the people that they look after. Your kid is the product. The teachers union only looks over the employee, which is the teachers, who, by the way, you pay the fucking salaries for. So the people that they should really be looking towards to and talking to is you. And the fact that the teachers unions are this powerful, or school boards have this amount of fucking say in certain aspects of public schools' lives, it's absolutely horrifying. And more people need to talk out about this.
Got about this. Absolutely, 100%.
People with dicks should not be in bathrooms or in changing rooms of girls. This should not happen whatsoever. It could be somewhere else. It could be somewhere. It could be during, I don't know, college or offices, or when people are fucking or old enough to understand what the fuck these things are. But your kids K to 12 need to be the most nurtured, looked after people. They're easily manipulated. They're easily impressionable. They're easily all of these things, and they need to be protected. And they're not doing it. They're not. And if you bring that up, you're the problem. You're the one who has,
and that's why I can't. Like we're in the midst of a gubernatorial race in Virginia, and so like this story happened. Like of course everybody could probably be like, if you don't want to take any sort of face value, and again, this is like I could see some people being like, oh, that father's only coming out and saying that, accusing the school of covering up a sexual assault because Virginia's in the middle of a gubernatorial election. That is a pretty fucking wild accusation to make only for pure politics. I highly doubt that they would do that, especially the fact that the sheriff's office already confirmed that a case like that is under investigation. This incident, people started making like the whole issue about like school choice and like should parents have control over their children's education. They started making that an issue maybe like within the last few weeks. Okay, because we're in the heat. We're less than a month away from the November election for Virginia gubernatorial election. So the fact that you have to travel back in time, this father would have to travel back in time to make some shit up about like his daughter getting sexually assaulted in a high school bathroom by a transgender student. No, he wouldn't be making that shit up. And I would be amazed if I have not seen it yet. And I don't know if I'd be amazed. I probably shouldn't be surprised if there are some liberals who'd be like, oh, he's just doing it for political reasons. Have you seen the report? Have you seen anything that's actually happening? And the fact that you have Glenn Youngkin versus Terry McAuliffe. Terry McAuliffe fucking sucks. I don't know that much about Glenn Youngkin. I don't really care. I don't live in Virginia anymore. They're not my governor. They are not my governor either way. But the argument being had is that Terry McAuliffe says that parents should not have the right to make a decision over their children's education. Glenn Youngkin says the opposite, that parents should make the decision about what goes into their children's education. At the same time, you have people like Julia Eoff and Nicole Hannah-Jones start making points that almost sound like they're becoming more based. You have Julia Eoff making the point about the Texas abortion law, saying like, oh, if women can't have an abortion beyond 6 weeks, then men have to be responsible for child support payments if they're not married. And you see like conservatives being like, your terms are acceptable.
Especially because they're already the case.
Yeah, and then you have Nicole Hannah-Jones saying something along the lines about school choice and how there's no one advocating for children of college, children coming from household lower income households or what's it called or from black or brown households going to schools and other communities that maybe are predominantly white. She just like accuses them of wanting only privatization, and it's like she's so close to it, because school choice is literally giving everyone a choice about where they send their children to school, Regardless of whether you live in an urban area, you want to send your kid to a suburban school, you live in a suburban area, you want to send your kid to an urban school, or rural, suburban, urban, doesn't fucking matter. She was so close to making that point, and she just like fumbled the bag at the very end. Anyways, I want to get to these ASOP 369 messages here because he already sent a couple super chats here. It says, when this happened, only told him his daughter was beaten up. After he talked to her, he realized she was sexually assaulted. And then after the second one is they called the cops on him, and only at that point did the cops escort the daughter to the hospital to get a rape kit. God damn.
Jesus.
Oh,
Jesus. They don't care about your kids. They really don't. They don't. And this is the issue I have with a lot of people who think that we need to give government more money, is that they fuck shit up all the time. They're not here to actually improve anything given to you. They're really not. I would rather keep that money to myself than to pay for this type of shit that happens. Really, it doesn't make any sense for me to do it. And it doesn't make any sense for other people to do it either. And now they want to target people who are making $600 or doing transactions of $600. You know how much it is for a single mother to pay for daycare here in California a month? Mm-hmm. It's a minimum of $600. You know, Bill Gates is not paying $600 for childcare. You know, any of the actors in Hollywood and all that kind of stuff isn't paying $600 for childcare and shit. So, like, who do they expect that they're targeting? All of these issues and all of these policies that they want to put in place is harming the working class more. And we're supposed to think that Democrats are the party of the working class. No, they're the party that goes to the Met Galas that pay $300,000 a plate.
And bro, just like tax evasion. And the same can be said about Republicans too. They're not the party of the American worker. They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
They are profits over people all the fucking way. And
absolutely.
Every single time they be like, "Oh, we care about the American worker." No, they fucking don't.
No, they don't. But the party that comes up with giving less of my money to the government is the people that I would vote for. Even though it rarely happens, and you're not going to see it happen from anyone who gains power, because the spending is already out of control. Yeah. The spending is already going to happen. They're already going to tax the fuck out of you. They want to take your money.
This whole argument about taxing the rich just it drives me nuts, because it's not about the government having enough money. They print off money like no tomorrow. The issue is they come up with these arbitrary restrictions and make it so like, oh, we can't do X, Y, and Z because the rich aren't paying their fair share. That's all fucking bullshit. That's not a real argument. You want to know what it is? It is strictly a political ploy to try to raise taxes so that they can restrict private enterprise from actually making a difference in the world. And yeah, some private enterprises, some private companies are all about the bottom line, don't give a fuck about Americans as well. There are a lot of global corporations like Disney, like the NBA, like a lot of other entities that just simply don't give a fuck about the United States. And they exist, but there are far away much better private companies and enterprises are actually doing a lot of good work, and they're doing it without a lot of government restriction. And the thing that's getting in the way, it's like a power struggle here, Jay. It's between the government and private enterprise, and the government just can't let private enterprise have all that power. That's too much for them. Even small business owners. The whole fucking shutdown, we had this conversation with Carol Roth. One of the entire reasons that they shut down, they put everyone on lockdown, and only it was very arbitrary about who was locked down
and what can be open,
what could be open, what couldn't be. It was completely arbitrary. It was really all about the government flexing its muscle to say, "Hey, we're in control here, not you. Get the fuck out of here."
Unless you're a Target or a Costco or something like that, where they could slap the government around.
Habibi, Drew Douglas says, no message, just wishing all the Habibis a blessed night. Thanks for the stream, boys. Thank you, Habibi. Very happy to be joining. And Chris Kinder says, #tip, don't bet on the three-legged horses. Thank you, Habibi. Rumble, we got a comment from Rumble from DeBrenner. Says, why use the EF word? I assume you mean F word. Not needed to make a point. I think it's fucking needed, right, Jay?
Look, I mean, I think the burner has a fucking point, because sometimes when you're using the F word, it doesn't really come across when you're trying to make that fucking point. You know what I mean? I mean, the
Right.
F word doesn't really need to be needed when you're, especially when you talk about fucks.
Yeah. So it is what it is. The Brenner, I appreciate you watching. If you want to continue watching this fucking stream, please continue watching. There are gonna be a lot more F words dropping.
Absolutely.
And actually, you know what's also interesting, Jay, is the fact that simply just acknowledging why use the F word that much, not needed to make a point, only makes me want to say fuck even more. So
we're gonna fuckity fuck this whole fuck
so
you,
Jay,
Biden
I have
stuff.
to say, I think DeBrenner is in the pocket of big fuck.
I think so too. I think Big Fuck has taken DeBruyne, and this is a plant right now in order for us to use fuck a lot more.
Yeah, big fuck has a vested interest in telling us don't use the fuck word, because if you do, that is haram, and you are going to Jahannam.
Jahannam. And the thing is, that just makes you want to say the fuck word even more. So They know what they're doing. It's reverse psychology.
Yeah. Drake on Blade says the new Islam dropping F-bombs.
Alhamdulillah.
So
Bismillah.
I love it when we bounce between that. Okay, so real quick, Jay, just to quickly tease our interview for this weekend with Dr. Jason Nichols. We're not going to play any clips, but we have a very fun discussion about Dave Chappelle. And it actually was really good because we also talk about John Gruden. We talk about a lot of different things. But the Dave Chappelle bit was great. And I think this is something that you and I have to unpack a little bit more, because I saw, I think, 2 out of 3 of Dave Chappelle's Netflix specials, or maybe it was 2 out of 4. I only saw 2. I saw Equanimity and then this one. And there were times at which I thought this particular special, The Closer, almost felt like a TED Talk. It was funny, and I did not feel like it was forced. However, there were many times in which he was sort of explaining himself and why he feels a certain way. And it was almost like a response to sort of all the critics telling him that he's a transphobe, he's a TERF. And like, he kind of hit the nail on the head on a lot of shit. Even if he wasn't like flawless in his execution, he's still like, the premise was still really good. The fact that, like, if you haven't watched the special, I recommend you go watch it. There's not really any spoilers, but to kind of summarize it, and near the end, he sort of makes the point that, like, his issue is not with the trans community. It's with white people constantly changing the rules. And it's almost like that at Prussia Olympics that has constantly been discussed, and how every time, something happens in the Black community, the trans community like tries to one up him, or one up the Black community, I should say. It's just maybe I'm interpreting it differently just because I have a certain worldview, but I feel like that was the point that Dave Chappelle was trying to get across. And the people who didn't watch it were the ones who were negatively responding to it. And that was largely the people like, that Dear White People writer, Jacqueline Moore, who I found out blocked me way before she ever came out with a statement.
Check. And the thing is like, I think you're right on a lot of it, on your analysis of the stand-up, because it was a lot like a TED Talk. It was more like we're sitting down trying to he was trying to have this discussion and force his point of view on these people who don't want to hear it. And from the very beginning, he's like, these people were calling me all of these things from the headlines of people writing about my special who didn't even watch it. And then they're just regurgitating that stuff. And then again, you have the more of the outrage were of those people doing it, just reading the headlines and not really watching his show. And this is the thing, to be part of society, to be part of this whole thing, is do not take yourself so fucking seriously. You can make fun of yourselves, and you can have other people make fun of you too. None of that stuff should really affect you in a way where you want to go and destroy or want to demonize other people in a way that's going to harm them and their livelihoods.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be an oppressive Olympics. It shouldn't be, because he's like, I'm just here making fun. Like, I'm making a joke. Why are we like, yeah, you've had hardships. Okay, I come from slaves. Like, why is it that's where the discussion has to end up in?
Right. So, like, one thing I have to say, and that's interesting, is that in the wake of this whole controversy over the closer of Chappelle's special, apparently a trans employee was suspended by Netflix, and the initial reports was that they were suspended for tweeting about Dave Chappelle and criticizing him. And that was what the media was trying to sell initially. But until you actually read the story, you'll find out that she, along with two other of her colleagues, crashed an executive board meeting that they weren't supposed to be part of. And that's what led to their suspension. But that's not what they're telling us. They're telling us that she tweeted about Dave Chappelle's special and criticized it. Therefore, she was suspended from her job at Netflix. That's not true. That's misinformation. In fact, at this point, I'm willing to say it's fucking disinformation, because I think this shit is deliberate now.
Yes.
So the fact and like, again, when you have two other people who are suspended as well, and it's because they crashed that executive meeting, and there's no known record of them actually tweeting negatively about the Chappelle special. Like, that shit is sus already. Like, I don't know how these publications are running that shit. Like, shit, Jay, just today, Katie Couric acknowledged in like her upcoming memoir that she actually tried to protect Ruth Bader Ginsburg's comments about fucking kneeling for the flag. Let me find the shit. Let me find the full quote, because this is fucking insane.
It's absolutely crazy. A national journalist trying to hide.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising, but it's all the more. I mean, I guess we shouldn't be shocked, because Katie Couric has done this before with Second Amendment advocates. But Katie Couric selectively edited her 2016 interview with Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg by omitting negative comments the justice made about those who kneel during the national anthem. She admitted in her new memoir. The 2016 chat came in the midst of the furor of former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick's decision to take a knee during the playing of the national anthem to protest police brutality. Several other professional athletes began to take his lead and kneel instead of standing during the anthem. Ginsburg told Couric she was opposed to the action, saying those who kneel during the anthem were showing, quote unquote, contempt for a government that has made it possible for their parents and grandparents to live a decent life. That was the quote that was omitted from the reporting, from the initial report. And Couric admitted that she was a big RBG fan and that she was trying to protect Ginsburg from the public backlash. At what point, Jay, like, and again, I'm going more and more insane by the minute. At what point do you have to say, fuck all these people, burn this shit to the ground? I know this is just a very small example here, but like, if she's protecting her, think of how many people are also protecting other politicians who say far more damaging stuff, or, you know,
or even to think that this is damaging. Why is this damaging? Why is it damaging to what? To the social hierarchy that's from
RBG. No, hold on. And I can see why Katie Couric would protect her. And it's because RBG to that point was a fucking icon
to liberals,
liberal circles, to liberals. And her saying something like that would completely undermine the entire movement, the entire narrative, and the RBG would not be considered an icon. So Katie Couric is she's part of the entire machine of the Democratic establishment.
She's not an unbiased, and that's what it is. She's not an unbiased like reporter or a bipartisan reporter. She is a partisan propaganda agent, and that's the reason why she hit it, is because it was going to undermine her politics and her team and the people she votes for, and all of this type of stuff, the narrative in her world. It would have undermined the whole thing, and that's what needs to be showcased and I don't want to see demonized, but really there needs to be repercussions on the journalistic community and industry when shit like this happens. You can't have, that's exactly where they should go. Gitmo, throw away the key and never see them again.
Join me in Gitmo. Join me in
news,
Gitmo.
Like we're not news. We are not news, but we're nothing different than CNN or what you see on Fox or what you see on MSNBC, except that like we try to give as much truth as possible. But what news is supposed to be, essentially, what she was supposed to do is I ask you a question, you give me the answer, you give it to the people because that's what the interview is. If it's like what your favorite color is, and you don't say the blood of children, then I'm not going to show it. Like that doesn't matter. But if you say the blood of children because you like the way it looks on your skin, I'm going to show that shit to showcase who you are. like it's so fucking it's just so infuriating that they think that they're there to gatekeep what people are supposed to hear. That's why they hate Facebook. That's why they hate YouTube. That's why they hate all of those other places.
I love this Kyra. I love this Kyra from Spencer. Says breaking: Habibi Bros want journalists to go to the Gitmo. Everyone cheers for it. Oh, it's the Gitmo.
The Gitmo.
Spencer's hung around with us for only a couple of months. He's already a fucking boomer.
I know. It's amazing.
He's a far boomer. He is going to the Gitmo, sir. Sir, he is going to the Gitmo, and everybody
Gitmo.
Everybody is cheering for it. Okay? Habibi Bros, they want the journalists to go to the Gitmo.
To the Gitmo.
I want to the Gitmo. Shut the hell up your mouth. Go to Gitmo.
Inshallah. Okay? MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. Oh, man. Man, this has been wild. Oh, Chris Bender, what it do? It says, are you guys reporters for repeaters?
What?
What?
Repeaters.
Repeaters.
Reporters for repeaters? Repeaters.
Man, Hakirat, he says Pakistani accent and he says I was writing the comment and you went to Baijan mode.
He was writing it and you did it.
I did it, sir. I did it for you. This happens when I have the drink, sir. I have the bourbon. I have the whiskey.
MashaAllah.
It is most good, sir. It is most good. Brian Stelter. Or damn it. I don't know. Chris, it is okay, sir. We are reporters
Habibi.
We are reporters for the Habibis.
Siraj حبيبي سراج بدي واحد شاي حليب جلدي كلو جلدي شاي حليب هلا
يلا حبيبي
يلا
Your is probably better than mine. आप कैसे हैं? कुछ खाने हैं? सब ठीक है.
إن شاء الله. أنا بدي الحستيزك.
Okay, we can't confuse the entire audience, Jay.
I know we're going from Arabic to
I know Hindi, to Urdu. So now is our favorite time, and that is ask us anything. So Habibis, go ahead, ask us your questions. It can be a badass, but it doesn't always have to be. Go ahead, ask them questions.
Did I understand the new picture? 2 tiers was confusing, but three tiers isn't now. Not Steve or Steve. There were like 6 tiers that we had before. There were 5, and we reduced it to 3. So now it's much easier. So you have the entry level of 5, the platinum at 20 that you're able to do watch parties with us, and then the Sheikh Habibis at 50, where you're able to come in live behind the scenes when we are doing a premium episode with guests like Ben Shapiro, Glenn Greenwald.
Hold on. Now I finally get Chris Kinder's comment. He had the typo at 4. So he says, are you guys reporters or repeaters? Now I get it.
Oh, gotcha.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
That makes sense.
No, it does, because and we repeat what the news what the news is, and then we give our opinions on it. We're not reporters, but you have people like Brian Stelter or Don Lemon is the worst case, or fucking Joy Reid, Chris Hayes. Like, these people claim to be reporters and journalists. They're not. You know, I mean, the one thing that Sean Hannity does before he comes on is like, he always says he's not a journalist because we all know he's a jackass. You know what I mean? Like, we all know he's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. But he comes up saying he's an opinion show and all this stuff. I think you need to take news. You need to take news out of these things. You can't have it Fox opinion, have it Fox whatever. But Fox News is Brett Baer, is Chris Wallace, is that's the news.
Chris Wallace, not really.
Okay,
but
maybe not a little bit.
I'd say Brett Baer is like by far the most straight edge.
He's probably the most straight edge
journalist that I have.
Journalist on TV right now is Brett Baer. Yeah. I think on TV right now is Brett Baer, because the main reason is because he doesn't bring any kind of his real views into the story. Like, you know, I mean, Chris Wallace does from time to time.
Yeah, Chris Wallace. He does.
He does.
Brett Baer, not so much.
That's not what.
That's not what. Really editorialize.
That's not what they are, and that's not what they should be when it comes to anchoring the news. It should be you read the teleprompter, you say, you know, fuck you, San Diego, and then go on with your night.
Yeah. Blake says, now that I'm a platinum Habibi, what can I expect? Jay, what can we expect in the platinum? Yes.
We're the first viewing party after Four Lions is that we're gonna showcase my dick, then Siraj's dick, and you guys have to guess whose dick that is. No, I'm joking. And we don't do that. We only do that together.
Nate Bibi says, do you know any Hindi swear words? I do. I know a few. Harkirat says, say, Tuhada ki hal chal hai. It is a Punjabi phrase.
Tuhada ki hal chal hai.
Tuhada ki hal chal hai.
Tuhada ki hal chal hai.
No, it's okay, Jay. Faye says, has my tier been devalued with this new system? Is this some kind of equity bowl? You drag us down instead of everyone else paying up? Libs. Faye.
No, Faye.
You're practically an OG Habibi. We know who the OG Habibis are, and you will be rewarded for it.
Yes, you're I like how you're like, and you will be rewarded for it.
Prison Mitch says, which tier gets you a postcard from Earn? Jay, remind me that I gotta finish that shit before the end of the year.
You still have people to write postcards for?
Bro, I haven't even started.
Did you not even send it to Janice?
Bro, I haven't even ordered. I haven't even ordered the postcards to start.
Oh my god. Oh shit!
Yeah,
Jesus.
That says it translates to "How are you?" I didn't keep. Oh well, whatever. Now Steve says, "Which tier has ass eating tips from Jay?"
That's Sheikh Habibis. Sheikh Habibis will always get the tips that I have. And I'll give this tip for free. Get fucking bidets, you fucking nasty pieces of shit. I don't understand what it is about Americans and bidets. Look, if you want to be an ass eater, you gotta have a bidet in your fucking house. It's disgusting. So I have 3 bidets for my 3 bathrooms in my home. So I eat ass in like 3 different places.
Josh says Siraj is really a boomer. It takes me a year to finish. Well, not in bed, it doesn't. More like 2 seconds. Anyways, Hobby says, I have a question. Do you think the heating cost inflation and Christmas present crunch is going to hurt bottom worse than what's going on now? Hey, if people have a shitty Christmas, that is unforgivable. If there is another war on Christmas, which I'm pretty sure there will be, and by war I mean like if people aren't able to buy gifts because they don't have enough money, like you could probably make the argument that is a war on Christmas. Basically, there will be a war on Christmas. We just don't know before. But yes, it can be bad.
I think it will be. Now we find our postcards don't even exist. HBH is a Ponzi scheme. That's what you need to do. You just need to get him drunk enough, and he's gonna like give all his secrets away, incriminate himself completely. I had no idea postcards were a thing I had no idea this was supposed to happen. I am exempt from all of this stuff. If I knew this was going to happen, you guys would have had postcards in like a week and a half. I had no idea this was even a thing. He didn't even reach out for help. Nothing.
Jay, because it wasn't a Habibi Bros thing. It was a my Patreon thing. It was the list Patreon. It was my overreaching, ambitious attempt to try to drive attention to that Patreon and not being able to deliver on it. But I will deliver on it, just almost like 10 months late. Maybe
right. Late. So please subscribe to the list Patreon.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Please, I'd rather not get any subscriptions on the list Patreon. Oh God.
And why is it Japan? Well, Japan does have really great bidets, but honestly, the only bidet you really need is one that has hot and cold water, and you're good. Because there's nothing better than a nice warm stream hitting your butthole. Yeah, and I can tell you that Dan's mom loves that hot stream going on.
Faye says, dude, you're well over your. I am not, because that promo was in January of 2021. That's how long this year has felt. I
feel like it's been longer than that, but it's your tier. That's what I said.
Blake says, I'm glad you guys have been taking your shirts off. Why would you even wish that into existence, Blake? Why would you do that?
I have very orange nipples. I didn't even know. Well, it's probably because I have better lighting and camera that it just showcases that. But man, you can see my tan. Look at this.
Look at that.
Jesus.
Look at that.
I need to go tanning. Fuck.
Yeah. Shit. Oh my God. Harkada says, not a question. Just wanted to say thank you for making my day, but wish me happy birthday and Habibi Power. Love y'all. Happy belated birthday, Harkada. Happy many birthdays to you.
Happy birthday, Hakarat.
John happy Schmidt birthday. Says, how Jay, you want to read this one?
How many unique asses has Jay eaten, and why was Siraj's wife his favorite?
I'll have to go get her and get her to comment.
Siraj's asses was my favorite by far. But when you want to say like how many unique asses I've eaten, I mean, I want to say so Dan's mom, Steve's mom, Anthony's mom, Siraj. I also went for a Persian, an Arab, and Persian Arabs like butt stuff. They really do. They really like butt stuff. I don't know what it is, but they do. So it was.
Javi says, I was told there were shirtless Arab men in my area.
Well, I mean, we're not in your area, but we could be for a price. Yeah. So subscribe to Patreon to Habibi
to our Patreon. Jay has a farmer's tan and Siraj is just milk white. I think look at that.
Yeah, you do. You kind of have the tan like I do. Yeah, it's there.
It's just on the outside.
Yep. I didn't. Chris Carter. Chris,
what?
Happy birthday, Chris Kinder. Happy birthday, Chris Kinder. Happy birthday, Chris Kinder. Happy birthday to you. Bruce's mom, for
was
sure.
funny for you both to recreate the gay Superman with the outfits and pink women.
honestly, if you paid us $5,000, we would do it.
Jay,
we kiss for free. Jay's so if you're going to do it for $5,000, we'll do it.
Jay is basically saying we will get into gay porn for $5,000. That is our price tag.
No, that's softcore. If we want hardcore, it's $69,000.
Excellent. I'm seeing some requests for a certain melody.
Gay for pay tier. Gay for.
All right, hold on. Clear the comments for just a moment here because I think we just have it. We think we have the vaccine song.
Now let's all get the vaccine. Shot from the dot, she hit the spot. Then I felt a little tired and maybe a little hot. I'm a sore, my body in my head did ache. Woke up the next day and I was straight.
Ooh, wow! So
woke up the next day and I was straight. Who knew that the vaccine zone was so homophobic?
Jay, that's I don't understand why the gay agenda is pushing the vaccine. It's almost like they're in the pocket of big straight.
That's what's happening right there.
The big hetero. They're in the pocket of big cis heteronormative patriarchy.
That's exactly what it is.
How dare they? How dare they? Spencer says, I don't know what's going on, but Jay and Siraj want to end up on the black and orange site. Which one is that one, Jay?
I have no idea. What is the black and orange site? Pornhub. We're such boomers.
Oh God.
Platinum subscription canceled. No, Aesop. I mean, wait until we're doing the watch party at least. Jesus.
Yeah, at least wait for the watch party, which is tomorrow night, 9:30 East, 6:30 Pacific on our Discord. If you haven't already, go ahead and join the Habibi Discord. It's in the link in the description of this video. You got to go to that link tree first to go check it out. One last thing, Jay. Very excited for tomorrow night's. We're gonna do that monthly. We are off next week. Jay is getting surgery on both his mouth and butthole. So he's gonna.
Wait. We're not off next week. No, Siraj. No. Hold up, Siraj. Next week is normal, but on Thursday next week I'm taking my my wisdom teeth out. The week after is off. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're here. So we got one more episode and then we're off. Okay. So we'll be back next Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes.
Faye comes in and says you're off every week. And then as always, our weekly plea, Jen Rubin, please come on the Habibi Bros.
Come on our face. Jen Rubin on our face. We don't care
how you come on it. Just please come on it.
Come on us.
Some way, shape, or form. Okay.
Jen, come on us, Jen Rubin. Please.
Come on her and come on us.
We just want to know how you're such a queen. That's it. That's all we want to do. We want to find these out. We just want to know. Please.
Just tell it to us straight. Our first question to you, Jen, is you're queen. Please explain.
And then that's 30 minutes of that. And then the other 30 minutes is why you're such a why are you so hot?
Pretty.
Jen.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Why are you so
beautiful?
Pretty? Why are you such
amazing?
A princess?
You need to come on.
Mary,
if it wasn't,
says, my God, how I wish I was there just to get a video of it. Which part?
Where?
Oh, you getting your wisdom teeth out?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, when taking my top next week on Thursday, I'm only getting my top teeth out, and I'm not going to sleep for it. I'm just gonna have them do a little numbing gel and yank it out. Mm-hmm. But later on, I'm taking out one of my wisdom teeth in here that they have to put me to sleep on, and the problem is, I need to shave. I'm gonna have to shave all my beard, but keep my mustache. So I'm shaving my beard, keeping my mustache, and I've grown my mustache. I've been growing it like pretty fucking legitly for a couple of months now. Like I haven't.
That's not even a word. It's not even a word. Legitly.
It's almost to like the hook.
I'm very excited for this porn stash, Jay.
I am too.
Yeah. Faye says, third question, are you ill prepared, Jen? I hope she isn't. She better not be.
She better not be.
She better not be. Our queen is never ill prepared. So, anyways, Habibis, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Habibi Power Hour. I've been Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
As always, don't forget to follow us, like, and subscribe. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit up the Habibi Discord on our Discord server and hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/Habibi Bros. Twitter, Habibi_Bros. I'm at Siraj Hashmi. You can find Jay. You can find Jay at Asslickin and Spencer at Spencer_Sachs, our producer. Thank you all for joining us. And Spencer, great job behind the boards. You're fucking fired. Habibis, thank you all for the support. We love you. Hope you have a great night. We will see you this weekend for our recorded episode with Dr. Jason Nichols. Stay tuned for that. That'll be released on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Stay tuned for that on our Patreon. Have a good night, Habibis. Masalama.
Peace.